Hello, welcome to Christina's Knitting Catch-Up episode 14. Today is Saturday, October the 17th, and I'm Christina. And you can find me on Ravelry as Chrisa and Instagram as Cutiful Christina. So please come along and follow me there. We have a Ravelry group called Christina's Knitting Catch-Up, and you can join in discussion there and ask me questions and get to know me. So, a few things today. I've got one finished object, sort of. I finished this pair of socks for my husband. And this is Bendigo Woolen Mills sock yarn, and it's in colour 206 or something, blue and red. And it's discontinued, unfortunately, because it's really awesome. I really like this a lot. It was really fun. I've never knit with a self-striping yarn before, or I did once. It was really boring though, and this has been very interesting, and it was a lot of fun. The toe and heel and cuff I knit in a contrast colour. I can't remember what yarn it is. It was just a bog standard sock yarn. And I held the yarn double at the toe and at the heel because that's where most socks wear through, and I didn't want these to wear through. The cuff is not held double, but unfortunately the cuff is too tight for his foot. So the sock is fine, he says, but it's just very hard for him to get his heel through this little part, because the distance, he's got a large heel, I suppose. The distance between the back of his heel and the top of his foot is bigger than mine, I guess. So he has a lot of trouble. I mean, he can get it on, but what I'm going to do is rip back the ribbing, rip back a little bit and increase here, and just make the top a whole lot wider, more like a funnel. I did use a super stretchy bind off, so that's clearly not the problem. So anyway, I'm a bit disappointed with that because it was so much fun to knit them. And he even tried on the first one and it seemed fine. He didn't tell me about it then. It's only when I finished two that he tells me that it's too tight at the top. So I'm pretty annoyed about that, but I'm going to have to rip it back and fix it. There seems to be a lot of ripping back in my knitting recently. So I'm disappointed about that. Let me think, what else can I tell you about them though? I used a 2.25mm needle, and this is the Fish Lips Kiss Heel. Apart from that, it's a bog standard regular toe increase, wedge toe, and I think it started out 60 stitches here, and then I increased to 64, 60, I increased to like 72 or something. So anyway, I thought the increasing up would be enough for his large heel, but it is not. So I'm pretty disappointed about that. I don't really have any works in progress that I haven't shown you already. I've got that shawl that I've started. I like the shawl a lot, but I'm having trouble knitting it because I really hate the needle, and I can't change needles because my only nice needle in that size is on something else. So I think I have to spend a little bit of time over the next few weeks getting things off the needles. I've decided that I'm not allowed to cast on a new sock until I've finished something else. So once I've finished this, I'm going to go back into my works in progress and finish something, and then I can start on a new pair of socks, because I'm knitting socks for everybody for Christmas, and I kind of got a bit sock mad and stressed about it, even though there's a long time till Christmas yet. But yeah, it took me 1 week to knit that pair of socks for Charles, and I don't think I have as much time this week, so we'll see how I go. Okay, acquisitions I'll talk a little bit about. I got one package this week from Knit Picks, and I'll tell you all about it. It was a bit of a fail. Excuse me. So the things I really wanted to buy was a black and white sock yarn for heels and toes for my mum and dad's socks. So, sorry. So this one's for my mum, the black and reds and stuff. So I think that will go well. And this one is for my dad. That's got white in it, so that will suit. That was reggier, but we'll get to that in a few weeks, I think. I also bought some of their undyed yarn. This is their, as you can see, bare superwash wool and nylon in sport weight. And I also bought a couple of needles. Now, the thing is, I thought I was getting fingering weight, and I don't know why I thought that, but I thought I was getting fingering weight. I bought 3 skeins of it, and it's not fingering weight, so I will not be able to make socks with this unless I make them really thick. I haven't really thought about that yet. So I'm a bit disappointed with myself. It was just really silly. Luckily, it wasn't too expensive, and I do have an idea of what to do with this. So anyway, it feels lovely, but looking at this, it doesn't look like a sport weight to me. This looks more like a 8-ply or even a 10-ply weight when I compare it to some of my other stuff. Now, I talked to Andrea, who you know from Wonderwool, and she said that she had some of this and it slimmed down a lot when she dyed it. I don't see how that works, but I guess we'll see. Now, my plan with this, as you may remember, I'm going to knit a Playful Stripes cardigan for my friend who is having a baby. She's having a baby like at the beginning of January, so it will be too hot then to wear a jumper. So I'm going to make it for when the baby's a bit older. Should I make the 3 months or the 6 month size? It'll be cold in 6 months, but I don't know. So I thought I would dye up some yarn for that. And I mean, thought I'd make it a grey kind of colour for the main jumper and a striping yarn for the yoke. Anyway, I'm thinking about that. Yeah, I think it'll be a, look how bright it is. So bright. I think it's a better idea than using the Debbie Bliss stuff. I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but anyway. And my other mistake in my knit picks order was getting 60 centimeters needles. I thought it was in inches, and I thought I was getting 60 inches. I got 60 centimeters, and they're really small and pokey, so I'm just really cross with myself over this order. Let me just pull it out. It's only this big. I wanted to do magic loop with it, and I suppose I can, but it's going to bend the needles. Anyway, I'm just really cross with myself because I made 2 mistakes on an order, and I don't know what was wrong with me. So, anyhow, that's that. I got them. Oh, and you may remember last week I said I went to a shop and I bought myself a new Addy 2.25mm needle because I lost my old one. Well, the second that I brought it into the house, I found my old one. It was under my desk, and I just could not believe the coincidence. It was just Murphy's Law. I had looked everywhere. It must have appeared under my desk. It must have been invisible. But I did get a different size, so I mean I don't have 2 identical needles. They're different sizes. I mean lengths. Same size. So anyway, moving on. As you may know, I had a knit along happening. It was a rose along, and I wanted people to post pictures of finished objects that had rose in the title or were rose coloured. Let me tell you what was in here. I'm just looking at the page. We've got a pair of socks, a dishcloth, a hat, some mitts, some more mitts, another hat, another mitt, a big shawl, some Rose City rollers, they're socks, a big cowl, a lovely colourwork hat, waffle hat, more mitts, and another shawl. And I think that's 14 or 15. So I've put everybody's name in my Quality Street tin, and I'm going to pull out 3 winners. Now let me tell you what everybody is going to get. I have my little bag of goodies. So first prize will be this skein of silk merino sock by Fiberwebs. It's a really lovely skein. And one of these lovely moth repellent sachets to keep your yarns safe. And a couple of these delicious tea bags. So that's first prize. Second prize is going to be, or second and third are the same really. Second prize is going to be this set of red stitch markers and the same little things. And then the last one, where are those stitch markers? Here they are. Is going to be the same again. So these amazing stitch markers from Wonderwool, and a sachet and some tea bags. So second and third prize, they're really just both second prize. So let me do that now. Shake it all up. They are all in there. See, I folded them all up. Can't see what's on them. Post 14, Elle Woolery, I think, and she had some mitts. Let me have a look at that. Post 14. Oh yeah, they were herbaceous mitts, and they have a lovely lace pattern up the back. So you win these things. Congratulations. So let me just take this out so they don't win twice. Put on my lid again. Give it a shake. And this one, oh, post number 4 is Rosehip Chick, and she made a phoenix hat. And she gets these stitch markers, tea bag, and smelly things. Okay, so I'll take that out. I can't see which one's which. Choose this one. Post number 6, Elise Deer, who has some mittens. Let me just have a look at them. Oh, aren't they cute? Rosy red mittens for my baby girl, she says. And she wins, where is it? The lovely Wonderwool stitch markers, tea bags, and moth repellent sachet. So that is our giveaway. Back to you. So there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, if you have won something, I need you to contact me, okay? So what's going to happen is next week, if you haven't contacted me, I'm going to do another draw, and whoever comes out will get that prize instead. So if that seems unfair, then you should watch my videos. Okay, so let me just put this all away. Down somewhere. Down on the table. Okay. I'll have to re-watch this to know who gets what. Okay, so please get in touch with me, those winners, and let me know your shipping address so that I can send it out to you. Cool. So that's fun. Now I wanted to show you a little bit of sewing that I've done. I'll take off my cardigan so I can show you. I made this blouse, and I showed you it in progress last week, but as you can see, it's a sleeveless, very normal blouse. It's hard to adjust backwards. See? So I'm really happy with that. Very pretty. Goes well with a lot of my clothes. and it's got greens and blues and browns and whites, so it goes with a few different colours. I can't wear a red cardigan with it or I look like Christmas, which will be good soon, I think. So anyway, today I'm actually going to my sewing meetup, which is just held at a local community centre, and I'm going to make another one of these blouses out of this fabric. I just thought I'd show this fabric to you because of how lovely it is. See, it's got little birdies on it in some places and pretty florals. So it's a lot drapier, so I had a little bit of trouble cutting the pieces out straight. I had a few wonky pieces, but anyway, I'm going to try and make that today. It's because I've grown a little bit over the past year or so. I think it's called just being 28 instead of 17. Not that I was 17 a couple of years ago, but you know, I've just grown up a bit and filled out. And my blouses have stopped fitting me, so I've had to get rid of a couple of blouses, and I'm not really sad about it because now I can make my own, which I wasn't able to do before. So that's something I've got on today, is my sewing group. Yeah, so I'm really happy with this. I used bias binding for the armhole facing, and that worked really well. It's quite long, so I've been tucking it in to my pants. I made these shorts as well. Yes, it's hot enough for shorts and short sleeves now, although I will put my cardigan back on. Yeah, it's been very warm. It was 30 degrees yesterday. It's supposed to be 28 today. It's a little bit dark and overcast. It's meant to rain. Like you care about the weather here. I've got some other things to tell you. So you know how I spoke about my lobelia cardigan and how the arms were too short? Oh, that was annoying. Well, I went through my stuff and I found a skein of the yarn which I had started on the jumper I was going to make with this yarn, but it was too hard, and I wound it back on this. So I think I will use this for the sleeves, but that means that in this, let me work this out, there's only 5 skeins in this, not 6 like I thought, because I found this extra one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I had 11 in total. Yeah, so I'm going to use this to lengthen the sleeves. Maybe that can be my in-between socks project for this week. Then I can wear it finally. So anyway, when I looked in my stuff, I have 5 brand new skeins left of Rowan Angora Haze, 25 grams each. So if you would like these, please get in touch with me. I'm not going to give them away for free. I thought I would charge $5 each for them or something. So if you want these, please get in touch with me and we'll arrange something and I'll send it out to you, because I get guilt feelings about having a lot of stash, as you may know, which is a bit of a problem. And it's not, I know I shouldn't feel bad about having things because I bought them with my own money and there's no real space issue really. It's not that extreme. But for some reason I just get this bad feeling when I have too much stuff. So this yarn has outgrown its usefulness for me. I've already got enough to finish my cardigan. So please get in touch. The colour is called Caring, which is really lovely. So yeah, I'd like to get rid of them. So let me know if you're interested. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, there's 5 of them, as you can see. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been sewing and knitting this week. Just worked on these socks pretty much exclusively, which was tough. So this past week, it's been my first week back at school teaching percussion, and it hasn't been too intense actually. So, oh sorry, I wobbled the camera. It hasn't been too intense. I've had a few spare minutes for knitting, obviously, and yeah, it's been good. Next week is going to be quite a lot busier for me because I am starting a yoga class on Thursday nights, and that's quite a way out in Belconnen, so it's a big drive to get there, but I signed up for that a long time ago and I thought I'm going to do it. I'm really interested in getting stronger and fitter and more flexible. You may know that I have residual tummy pain from messed up muscles and nerves, and I think that I have built up enough strength in that area for me to try and do a yoga class. So if it backfires and I get terrible flare-ups, then I'll have to reassess, but at the moment I feel like I'm doing pretty well with pain. I haven't had much pain this week. Had a bit on Monday after my first day at work, but I think that was just getting back into the rhythm of things. So I'm excited and a bit nervous about starting my yoga class on Thursdays. I've also started back at Steel Pan Ensemble, and that's now on Wednesday nights, not Saturdays, which is great because I hated it being on Saturdays. And that's also going to take up a bit of my time. Also, this coming Friday, I'm going to an old lady's house to help her out with some stuff, so that'll take up my time as well. So it's just going to be a bit of a busy week this coming week. Nothing I can't handle. Yeah, and it's term 4 at school, the last term of the year, so everything's kind of winding back, and I've started Christmas carols with all of my students. You know how much I like Christmas, so I've started Christmas carols with everybody. I've got a big book of Christmas carols, and I've decided that each student is going to do one. I've got two students doing the same song because one of them didn't know any others. And then I'm going to have a Christmas concert in week 5, and everyone will play their piece, and it'll be lovely. So I'm enjoying Christmas carols because it's easy for me to teach. The students enjoy it. They also learn how to play their instrument, which is great, but I just find term 4 a lot less stressful than other terms because it's like, it's all downhill from here, and then I get my summer break. So that's exciting. A few things this week. The Knit More Girls podcast is back after a long break, and I'm really, sorry, this is my lip gloss, I'm just fiddling. I'm really happy to hear them again. I love their podcast, especially around Christmas time and Halloween time because they get really into the holidays. And I love listening to all of their stuff. They have the Grinch along, and it's just a lot of fun. And she had her baby, Jasmine had her baby, and that's just lovely. What else? This weekend, everybody in America is at Rhinebeck Sheep and Wool Festival. I've been looking on Instagram at everybody's Rhinebeck sweaters and everything, and it's just too hot here to wear big jumpers like that at the moment, so I'm not that envious. I think it sounds like a crazy, crazy weekend that, I can do without crazy weekends. Although, it's fun to go and look at yarn and sheep and stuff. But at the moment, I've got plenty of stash, as I was saying. So yeah, let me see how long I've made this video. 25 minutes? I think that's about average for me, really. So, just to recap, someone just texted me, I've been knitting these socks which need fixing at the top because somewhere between sock 1 and sock 2, my husband's feet must have grown, and now he can't get it over his massive foot. So, hooray, I need to undo this and make it even wider. He said to make it like a foot funnel. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to fix up my lobelia cardigan this week before I am allowed to cast on this pair of socks for my mum, toe and heel and sock. This is Regia Arnie and Carlos design line. So I hope to get this at least started and my lobelia cardigan done. After that, once these socks are done, then I plan to finish my mum's jumper, fixing that I started last time. And after that, I'm going to cast on this pair of socks for my dad, toe heel sock. And after that, I'm going to try and finish my shawl or something. I need some new needles for my shawl, and then I can cast on some socks for my brother, which I didn't bring downstairs. So I've got a lot to do. Oh, I wanted to tell you about what I wanted to do with this. Or did I already? I want to dye it. That's what it's for, obviously, because it's undyed. And I want to make a self-striping yarn. And I've been trying to think about how to do that. So I might think about it more over the week and talk to you about it next week. I actually need to buy some black food colouring for my plan, my evil plan. So anyway, I thought I would have more to tell you this week, but I don't. So you have a really good week. Those people who won the giveaway, please get in touch with me. So have a really great week doing things that you like. Bye!